So today's video is going to be more in line for a new gun carrier, I guess is the term. Um, if you're new to concealed carry especially. So you've gone out, you've bought your handgun, and now you're ready to carry that firearm with you every day, right? Not quite. First thing you should do is get you some training if you haven't already undergone some at least very basic firearms training as far as safety um, before you start handling that firearm. You should get some kind of basic safety training. Next, you should get some actual training firing the weapon, whether it's from a loved one who is familiar with firearms and the operations of them, or professional training. Professional training is strongly encouraged, but not everybody can afford that. They can be pretty expensive. Uh, Next, definitely got to have a good holster. Uh, I carry inside the waistband, and I prefer Kydex. Uh, I would recommend staying away from those hybrids. Um, they're comfortable, but when it comes to an attacker getting a hold of your weapon and trying to strip it from you, even if you have a good retention on the holster, the backing of those hybrid holsters isn't very strong. They can easily be broken, and your opponent getting a hold of your weapon, and that would make for a very bad day. Uh, Next, of course, a dedicated gun belt, and I don't mean some cheap leather belt that you got from Walmart. This has to be a good rigid gun belt. Um, After that, I would recommend clothing. Um, you might think that you don't have to adjust your clothing very much, but I've found that as my everyday carry grew, as far as things that I carried on my person, I needed to have more room. Um, and not only that, but I needed more room for my 40 plus belly here. I recommend getting pants at least 2 sizes larger. Um, if you're going to just stick with regular clothing, I myself prefer 5'11" tactical pants or true spec. They are both designed for inside the waistband carry. They have an elastic waistband. They fit very comfortably whether you're carrying or not. Um, Also, another thing about the 511 Tactical and the True Spec pants, they have a lot of pockets. And as I was saying, my everyday carry grew from just carrying a firearm to carrying a pocket knife, a flashlight, medical equipment. The list goes on. And instead of having all of this on my belt, which tends to print a lot, I found it was easier to keep them in separate pockets. You don't want everything stored loosely in one pocket. You want to have different things in different pockets and know exactly where those are so that you can rapidly deploy them. Some of the things in my everyday carry are, of course, a tourniquet, Israeli bandage, Celox hemorrhage agent, a small first aid kit, a flashlight, a multi-tool, a pocket knife, of course, spare magazines and a magazine pouch, and of course pepper spray. Um, you might think, well, why do you need pepper spray if you have a firearm? Well, not every situation is going to require a firearm. In fact, a firearm is a last resort. That is the last thing I want to do, is have to pull my firearm and shoot somebody. Um, if at all possible, I just want to get out of there. If I can't get out of there, pepper spray may be an alternative for me if it's not a life-threatening situation. Um, Also, get you some hands-on training as far as not necessarily martial arts skills, but know how to retain your weapon if somebody happens to get a hold of it while it's still in the holster. These aren't things that happen very often, but it's important to know, how to react and not just let them take the gun out of your holster. Get some kind of, preparation for that. Um, Also, when it comes to clothing, you want to get shirts. You don't want these really tight-fitting, loose fabric shirts, such as the one I'm wearing now. This one prints really bad. It's made of that new material that's really it's kind of silky, kind of I don't know exactly what it is, but it's very loose and it tends to print a lot. Um, I do like polo shirts and I like t-shirts. However, occasionally I do wear button-up shirts. When I do wear button-up shirts, though, I prefer snaps and not buttons. Of course, buttons you can just rip the buttons off, of course, but with the snaps you can actually practice that unsnapping, getting to your weapon, whether you carry a shoulder rig, whether you carry appendix, whether you carry 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever you carry, you can practice getting those snaps undone quickly. Um, Boots aren't necessarily something that you need. However, if you're like me and tend to spend a lot of time out in the desert, um, I recommend boots. You don't want to come across a jumping cactus or step in a jumping cactus. Or it's just that's just a personal preference for me. Um, Definitely need mag pouches. I carry one in the mag well itself and 2 spares in a mag pouch on my belt and 2 spares in my get home bag. And if you're not familiar with a get home bag, I'll do another video at a later date on what all I keep in my get home bag. Um, Pretty much, I think that's pretty much it as far as my tips for new concealed carriers or even open carry. Again, let's go back. Training first and foremost. Get you some basic training, even if it's just how to safely handle the firearm. Get some practice with that firearm. Try cycling different types of ammo through it. Also, get some good self-defense ammo. You don't always want to be shooting your target ammo and carrying that same ammo for a self-defense situation. I strongly recommend jacketed hollow points. Um, they all pretty much do the same thing, however, some expand differently, and different brands have different effects, but chemically bonded ones I find to be uh, very, very effective. Um, so, training, uh, ammunition, um, a belt. Belt is a must. Get a dedicated gun belt. And clothing. You know, you've got to. You don't have to dress the part. You don't want to give away that you're carrying, but you also want to be comfortable, and that's why I recommend stuff like 511 tactical or True Spec for as far as pants for inside the waistband carry. Um, Very good product, and I strongly recommend it. And oh, a couple of things I forgot. Safety glasses. Should always carry some safety glasses. Not necessarily for an attacking situation or a lethal force encounter. Oh, hold on, let me put my safety glasses on. But you never know when you're out and about. You might want to stop by a shooting range. keep a pair of safety glasses on you, and some earplugs or some earmuffs. Um, you know, that way if you want to stop at the gun range and pop off a few rounds, you're ready to go, and you don't have to rent somebody else's equipment. And that's about it for today's Jacketed Hollow Points. Thank you, and don't forget to like and subscribe.